all your insecurities, all the problems you encounter, all the things that you think about that you think only you're thinking about, man, that's everybody. Like you really are in this thing with 8 billion other people. And all the things that you think are unique to you, they're really not.
Yeah, the veils fall from your eyes. On the weight loss thing, I saw a study that said 37% of Gen Z plan on skipping the gym and just using Ozempic instead.
Mm-hmm.
So 30% of Gen Z women are intending to use GLP-1 drugs to reach their weight loss goals compared to 20% of men. And on average, women are setting more ambitious weight loss targets, aiming to shed 23 pounds in 2025, and men are looking to lose 19.
Huh. Well, I mean, part of that is probably that those women have like a tougher time in like society with what they think they need to look like.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, even though it affects both genders, but yeah, I think that's like a temporary solution to this. I mean, they're going to end up, the real problem, if you read some studies about those GLP-1s, is that people lose muscle mass, and they're losing it at a much higher rate than they think they are. Sometimes they're losing 66% in a 10-pound loss. They're losing 66% of that is lean mass, which is not what you want. Like the one thing you want for health and longevity and strength and all that is to retain lean mass. So doing it the slower way with like good nutrition and good workout plan is what you want. I mean, but also, are you surprised? Like everybody wants a quicker solution to something. So yeah, I think we're going to have a bunch of people with gaunt faces and lacking muscle over the next decade. Is going to be a new issue.
Tell you what's been interesting. So I've trained on it maybe once a week, something like that.
Yeah.
And for the last 4 months, Tuesday morning, I've seen Alex Jones in there doing bear crawls. He's running around outside. He's flipping tires over. He's doing this stuff.
Alex Jones?
Yeah. And then I saw I don't know whether I hadn't seen him up close or something. Yeah. And then I saw this famous like Ozempic Jones before and after thing, and he's lost a ton of weight.
Yeah.
And there's a bit of me, like a lot of people on the internet were like, Ozempic's a hell of a drug. Mm-hmm. I go, I get that, but I've seen him working really, really hard on at gym. And there's kind of now, if you lose weight through hard work, people are just going to say, dude, Ozempic's a hell of a drug. Eh?
I know. Yeah.
And you go, well, I might as well use Ozempic. There's like some weird Russian roulette, undeniable situation.
This is the same reason I think why there's all these guys, especially stars, who the one thing they won't talk about is that they're all juicing. It's like this universal thing in Hollywood, and everyone sees if you see a photo or a video, the comments are all like, yeah, it must be nice with this needle. And it's like, yeah, dude, if you just injected that, you're not going to look like him. Mm-hmm. Like that guy still busts his ass training to be just beyond jacked. Right. Mm-hmm. Like, so, but it's like, in other words, people don't want to, they think that these things are just a quick solution. You still have to work at it. Whether you're going for the juice head that wants to be like super jacked, or the person who's just trying to lose weight, if you're just going to do the injection and nothing else, you're going to have
a body less than appropriately.
Yeah, exactly. Your results are not going to be impressive. But I mean, that's great that he's
Dude, he looks great. I mean, you're right on the 66% thing. I think almost all of that can be mitigated if you just do resistance training.
Yeah.
If you lose the weight and you train, but the problem is that people who don't have a health and fitness routine are taking an injection and suppressing their appetite and then losing weight and still not having a health and fitness routine.
I mean, the thing that I learned was that when I saw a nutritionist can really, really change the way you view a lot of things when it comes to weight loss. And so my journey, I would say, is like it's always it's up and down, right? Even like in the last couple of years, like it's not steady state. And like midsummer, I knew I had this series coming up to shoot, and I was like, okay. I go, at the time I was about 100 days out, and I was like, I can just show up as I am. And it's fine. It's going to be fine. No one's like, Tom needs to be a model for this thing. Yeah. But I was like, I'm going to hate myself for not at least putting in an effort. And so I had considered like just doing GLP-1s.
Have you ever tried them?
I did try it once, yes.
How do you feel?
I just didn't eat anything, and then I got off of it. I didn't like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I considered it for this, just for the shoot, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I met a nutritionist, and I told him what I was doing at that moment, which is in the midsummer. And I go, so I'm thinking about, maybe just doing. He's like, well, what are you doing right now? And I told him what I was eating and how I was training. He's like, you're not eating enough. So if you get on GLP-1s, you're definitely not going to eat enough. So the thing that I ended up doing was eating way more, but of the right foods.
Mm-hmm.
And I dialed up the training, and I lost, in this period, going from the 100 days out through the shoot, like around 20 pounds.
But looked way better, probably a little bit of lean mass as well.
And it was, and also the thing that was like surprising was that it was more, like I was eating so much more. I mean, every day I would have, I would start the day with like 4 eggs, some fruit. A little while later, I usually train in that period, and then like a 50-gram protein shake. Lunch was 10 to 12 ounces of lean meat with greens. Another snack in between, and then my dinners were 16 ounces of lean protein with greens, right? So it's like I wasn't eating like this 2 months ago. I was having like, a chicken sandwich and be like, that was good protein. It's like, it's so much, like my protein intake must have been like, I don't know, I was probably having like 40 grams a day, not even thinking about it, versus every day then trying to get in 200 plus grams.
Yeah, exactly. But nobody sleepwalks into 200 grams of protein. Nobody does it.
No.
It's impossible.
It's deliberate.
The only way that you get there is by accident, is if you've gone to some buffet and you've just decided to like cave on the like Brazilian fucking whatever it's called, fogo de chao.
But it does work, is like my point for like people who are like, they're like, I need to eat, I'm hungry. It's like, dude, eat this and tell me that you're like
still hungry,
starving. Yeah, it's just not the case.